Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Folks, I'm sure you guys have heard this before. I'm sure growing up, your parents probably told you this. Show me who your friends are and I will show you who you are. And you know what? It's a cliche, but for the most part, cliches are grounded in some sort of reality. Well, in today's online world, the equivalent would be, show me your Twitter history and it'll show me exactly who you are. And once again, we have another situation where somebody's Twitter past comes back to haunt them. Not in the garbage cancel culture manner where someone made some joke like 10 years ago, and then the disingenuous, dishonest, hateful left-wing mob comes to try to cancel them and destroy their career. We're just in another situation where a person is exposed as a left-wing partisan hack after being put in a position of power where they are expected or presented as a neutral arbiter of fact and truth, when clearly that couldn't be further from exactly that, the truth. Today we're going to talk about Joe Biden's new minister of truth, as it seems the Democrat establishment, as expected, right on time as Elon Musk buys Twitter and as Obama has been waging his war on disinformation, with Hillary Clinton joining his efforts. Well, it seems as though the Joe Biden administration is starting some sort of anti-free speech, pro-censorship campaign, right on time, exactly as expected, and they're doing it in the most disingenuous, dishonest, biased, partisan manner you could possibly imagine. Let's expose Joe Biden's new minister of truth, but of course, before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. And with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so take a look at this. Revealed, Biden's new disinformation head has a history of spreading disinformation. On Wednesday, it was announced that the Department of Homeland Security would be launching a, quote, disinformation governance board, which will be headed by Executive Director Nina Jankowicz. Jankowicz herself, though, has been revealed to have spread disinformation on a number of topics. In screenshots of old tweets posted to Twitter, she was seen dismissing the Hunter Biden laptop as Russian misinformation, slamming free speech, and bashed Twitter's decision to stop taking action against 2020 election posts. Jankowicz, on numerous occasions, has discredited the Hunter Biden laptop story, saying, quote, it's a fairy tale and disinformation. Let me present to you Department of Homeland Security's new disinformation executive. Nina Jankowicz on Twitter writes, not to mention that the emails don't need to be altered to be part of an influence campaign. Voters deserve that context, not a fairy tale about a laptop repair shop. Nina Jankowicz writes, back on the quote laptop from hell, apparently Biden notes 50 former NatSec officials and 5 former CIA heads that believe the laptop is a Russian influence operation. Trump says, quote, Russia, Russia, Russia. Isn't that interesting? Joe Biden's new minister of disinformation happened to be supporting, amplifying, and pushing a disinformation campaign to help Joe Biden's bid for the presidency of the United States by claiming the Hunter Biden laptop, which was obviously his laptop. Like everyone keeps saying, I mean, it's pretty believable that a crackhead would randomly forget his laptop at a computer repair shop. Not to mention the photos are of him, clearly not Photoshop. A lot of the emails and text messages and stuff that's been revealed have been confirmed as real by Hunter Biden's direct associates. It's clearly his laptop. The media now admits it. The intelligence community admits it. Yet she was pushing, back then, she was promoting this disinformation campaign to claim that it was Russian disinformation. A little bit fishy to say the least. And speaking of fishy, Jack Posobiec posts this little gem on Twitter. Jankowicz is a former advisor to the Ukrainian government under a Fulbright Clinton fellowship. Nina Jankowicz studies the intersection of democracy and technology in Central and Eastern Europe. She is the author of How to Lose the Information War, Russia, Fake News, and the Future of Conflict. Mrs. Jankowicz has advised the Ukrainian government on strategic communications under the auspices of a Fulbright Clinton Public Policy Fellowship. What we have here is no coincidence. Somebody deeply connected with the Clintons a couple weeks after Obama and Hillary Clinton have been pushing this campaign to fight, quote, online disinformation in order to preserve and save democracy. And then a couple weeks later, a new disinformation governance board pops up at DHS with her as the executive director. How absolutely weird. But also, of course, not surprising in the least. Democrats have been idolizing tyrannical regimes in their control on information and have been moving in that direction slowly over the last couple of years. I mean, you can just tell by their stances on free speech. We got another tweet here from Nina Jankowicz. Trump's speech is definitely the most presidential thing he's ever done, but still missing a disavowal of disinformation and conspiracy theories. And once again, for the people in the back, the quote, free speech versus censorship framing is a false dichotomy. That right there pretty much says it all, folks. That and the fact that we're now getting reporting that the Biden administration has called called for reforms to Section 230 since taking office in 2021, Associated Press and Reuters report. Just like we constantly see from the Democrats, if they cannot win on the merits of the ideas, which we know they can't, I mean they literally never do, then it's time to circumvent the system or change the system so that it benefits them. And that's exactly what these Democrats do. Lie, 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 spread propaganda and disinformation while attacking and labeling anything on the other side as exactly that, propaganda, lies, and Russian disinformation. This is an administration that is unable to thrive on reality. But what the reality is they're only able to frankly survive by controlling information and controlling the narrative. This is an administration that is built upon layers and layers, frankly a mountain of lies. Like this right over here, once again from the DHS. DHS Chief Mayorkas absurdly claims, quote, "We have effectively managed Biden's border crisis as millions of illegals pour over the border.
Yet, we have effectively managed an unprecedented number of non-citizens seeking to enter the United States."
This is an administration that seeks to create a veil of propaganda to cast a shadow over and hide the truth at all costs. It's an administration that feigns transparency and virtue, that claims to be fighting disinformation by promoting disinformation and then literally promoting Democrat bias left-wing partisans and propagandists to positions of power to ironically combat disinformation. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. The whole thing is just absurd. Contradictions, the hypocrisy, the irony, the lies. Once again, kind of like this one, Joe Biden, aka the big guy. "I got involved in politics because I think the greatest sin anyone can commit is abuse of power."
We were talking about on the way over what got me involved in politics. I got involved in politics because I think the greatest sin that anyone can commit is the abuse of power.
Abuse of power, as him and his Democrat cronies continue to politicize the DOJ, the DHS, the FBI, and the CIA, and also as the Biden crime family continues to be exposed for their total abuse of power in order to make millions. Take a look at this from the Daily Mail. Exclusive, Joe's missing millions. Financial records reveal Biden had $5.2 million in unexplained income as emails show he paid Hunter's legal bills for one megabucks Chinese deal and was tapped as the big guy to get 10% cut in another. This is the guy who's condemning abuse of power, while at the same time his minister of truth, top executive fighter at the DHS against disinformation, is exposed as a peddler of Democrat disinformation. You can't make this stuff up, folks. These people are phonies, these people are frauds, and these people must be stopped at the ballot box. It's the most reliable way, folks, because as we know, as much as we hope, as much hopium as we have, that federal agencies are going to do their job for the most part, we know these political Democrat elite are never held accountable. Absolute liars, absolute snakes. But of course, that's what I got for you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share it as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.